Good morning, lovelies. This morning we're going to talk about wearing a mask. Now, I've dealt 3 cards here. We've got mask, we've got abundance, and we've got our divine feminine card, which has popped back out. For the mask card, what I'm saying here is that many of you out there in my collective have come into your own recently. So a mask has been removed. So what do I mean by that? Often we might hide behind a mask to feel safe. We just don't quite feel safe to be fully seen, fully heard, or out there. And so in order to sort of hide or suppress parts of ourselves, we'll put on a mask. The problem with that is that that mask gets heavy over time and the facade is harder to keep up with. So as it starts slipping, all sorts of other things, emotions creep in, fear, perhaps even depression, or a lack mindset. However, when you can drop the mask completely and remove it, you'll find that there's finally some space to breathe. That's when the true healing can come into play. And you can just be really honest with yourself and do so in a very unapologetic way. Unapologetic way. And when that happens, you start to relax, you can see it in your face. Just an overwhelming and calming sense of relax kind of sets in. It's almost like you go into this natural mode of de-stressing when you realize you no longer have to keep up the facade, when you no longer have to put up the mask and pretend to be someone that you're not, when you accept that, okay, I can't pay my bills this month, but there are always backup plans in place if you can't pay the bills a month. I'm just using that as an example because the next card after that is abundance. So what I'll say to that is, we feel like we have to fit ourselves into this box that we don't really fit in. And it's been created by the patriarchal system, where it's fear-mongering that's at the base of it all. For example, I may not be able to pay my bills. I can't meet this month's mortgage. I can't make my car repayment. The loan isn't paid off. It hasn't been for the last 2 months. And then what sets in is all this fear and all this doubt and this lack mindset, and scarcity, that there's not enough. I'm going to lose it all. And then as you start sort of shedding layers, that just further confirms how you're feeling, which ramps up the stress levels, right? So the good news is that if there are financial pressures and stress, the system's here, and I'm going to say across most parts of the world, in I guess that aren't third world countries, have systems set up in place to hold you and catch you. Otherwise, if they don't have those systems and processes in place, then they fail. And I'm talking about the banks here, and creditors that loan you money, or banks that loan you money as well for large asset purchases. Okay, so that mask has gone quite deep in terms of the facade that some of us feel like we've got to put up, the mask, keeping up with the Jones. And really, at the end of the day, does it fucking matter? No. All you got to do is just get on the phone and make those phone calls to the banks, to the creditors, to catch you. Okay, so that's what I get from that card, mask. You are safe. You don't need to put a shield up. You don't need to put a mask up to hide what's going on. Just go off in the background and deal with it. Make those phone calls. It's as simple as that. Open those letters that have been piling up on your table or on your desk or in the mail pile and confront it. Make those calls. Can I pay it off? Can you stretch it out for a few months? They pretty much have to say yes. So just do it and save yourself the hassle, and then realize afterwards, oh, deadline dates and all these threat letters and everything, who do they matter to? You know, like, what sort of world are we living in anyway where they're sending threatening letters to make you feel like you're going to go to jail just because you haven't paid a $30 bill from last month or the month before? And not because you didn't have the money, you just forgot because life got on top of you. So that's mask. Now, this is in the present moment, the abundance card. With this abundant card, this means that once you've confronted everything and let down your shield, let down your mask, and take a bit of a breather and realize, fuck, it's not all bad and it's not all as it seems. It's just the stories that you've actually built up in your head. Then you can open yourself up for abundance, okay? For the material aspects that you might crave or love or desire to come into you. So you start pulling and attracting that in towards you. Resources that you need to lean on start finding you, or you find the resources without even looking too hard because you've dropped your shield, you've let your mask down, you've confronted what you thought was bigger than being hurt actually wasn't, and it's no problem. Okay, so abundance isn't just about wealth either. It's about appreciating and welcoming the flow of resources that you have, that are at your fingertips, that you're able to access, that you're able to turn into opportunities and therefore prosperity into your life. So open your hearts to all the forms of abundance and allow those blessings to flow in effortlessly. That's abundance. Now, what's very fitting is that the Divine Feminine has come out after the Abundance card. Now, the Divine Feminine is someone who knows how to sit in her feminine energy and just wait to receive the abundance, okay? She's sensual, she's soft, she's elegant, and she sits back and just waits. She knows she doesn't need to chase. She knows she doesn't have to be in the masculine space. Now, the Divine Feminine card is also for all of my masculines out there that are watching, okay? You don't have to be in your masculine energy all the time. And I'm also going to say this to all the single mamas out there because I know that a lot of them have to be in their masculine energy as well to get shit done, to hold it down so that nothing slips through your fingers. Look, if things do slip through your fingers, who cares? Let's go back to this mask card. Make a few phone calls, stretch things out, tidy things up, get things together to tide you over for however long you need, okay? And then you can sit back and start receiving that abundance that already exists in the timeline of our life. If we can feel and sense great things and great change and everything, that's because it already exists somewhere. Just picture yourself standing on a million different tiles, okay, that are floating in the air. And you can see the version of you, the best version of you, floating off in the distance, living a great and wonderful life that is stress-free. Finances are not an issue. You don't even have to think twice about it. Everything is going well. Your health is wonderful. Your children are thriving and happy and healthy. If you feel and sense and know that that's your life and that that's what's coming to you, that's because it already exists. That's you standing on one of the tiles. It's just a matter of changing your mindset, dropping that mask and allowing those things to flow into you so that you can float over to that tile and jump onto that tile of the best version of you.